All right, guys, welcome my musical warriors to a very special day. You might notice that I'm kind of dressed up a little bit. You're going to find out why as we go on into our great day. Today, we're going to find out a little bit about the difference between the 6-string and a 12-string acoustic guitar. And always remember, you're looking for that tone hole underneath the strings. That'll let you know that it's the acoustic guitar. And today, you're also going to learn that it's really important to look at the head of the guitar, which tells you how many tuning pegs are there. And those tuning pegs are easier to count than the strings. So you can know the difference between a 12-string, a 6-string, and a 4-string bass guitar. We're going to listen to the great Victor Wooten play a awesome bass solo, or a little bit of it. And then I'm going to introduce you to a guy named Davey504 from YouTube. And he's going to play a bit of an acoustic bass guitar, which is kind of a weird animal, but it has a tone hold just like the regular guitar. And he also is going to play a neat little style. And then we are going to hear from the queen of blank. I'm not going to say what it is, but we're going to hear 2 songs from the late, great Aretha Franklin. And we're going to talk about the genre, the instruments, and how it makes you feel. So without further ado, we are going to go into our first video, which is about the difference between the 6-string and the 12-string acoustic guitar. On your count, Mr. Berry.
All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, ready, and...
So a friend of mine asked me what the difference between a 6-string and a 12-string guitar was, and I tried to explain to him the difference, but realized as I was explaining that just explaining it doesn't do justice. You have to actually hear the difference to really get it. And so this is a video to explain the difference between a 6-string and a 12-string guitar. Aside from the obvious difference that a 12-string guitar has double the strings that a 6-string guitar has, the main difference is in the tuning and the sound. And so this is my trusty Fender 6-string guitar, right? And it's tuned normally, and you've got your E, A, D, G, B, and E strings, right? Okay. So that's tuned normally. And here is my 12-string Epiphone, and I'll show you how that's tuned. So it's got two sets of two strings for each string, basically. And they're tuned an octave apart. So you got your E string here, the high E, and the low E. High E, low E, play together. Okay. A, high A, low A. D, high E, low D. G, high G, low G. The last 2 sets of strings, the B and the E, are tuned without an octave difference. So they're tuned, that's the B. Both strings are tuned to the same frequency. Both are Bs. And the E's are not an octave apart, okay? So there's 2 sets of, that's a 12-string guitar in its tuning. And then let me play a bit of a song on each so you can hear the difference in what the song sounds like. that's a 6 string, and the same song on the 12 string. So as you can hear, the 12 string has a much brighter, fuller sound than the 6 string, and the other difference is it's harder to play. Double the strings, more pressure on your fingers to press down the strings. So the differences between a 6 string and 12 string guitar.
So yeah, I had to mute you, Mr. Matchmeyer. One of your students was saying that they were getting a weird echo, so I went ahead and muted you. Okay.
Ah, okay. So, bit anticlimactic at the end of that video, but still gives you a real good sound of the difference between the 6 and the 12. You know, the 6 or 12 string guitar to me just sounds.
You mean a bit?
It sounds huge in comparison to the 6 string. But obviously, both had the tone holes in them, showing you that they were both acoustic guitars. Did you notice the first one, the 6 string, actually had a cutout at the bottom of the body? And that was to be able to necessitate your hand being up there for the high strings. Whereas the 12 string guitar had a full regular acoustic body. All right, so now we're going to listen to Victor Wooten. And Victor Wooten is going to let us know exactly how you should play a bass solo. This guy is just absolutely phenomenal. Probably one of the top 3 bass players to ever be around and playing right now in the world. He is just a tremendous musician. You're going to hear him play both bass parts and melody parts on the same guitar. And he's doing a whole bunch of different techniques. He's slapping, he's strumming, plucking, and doing what is called fingerboard work with his right hand. So it's pretty cool.
All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, ready, and.
All right. Just wanted to give you a little taste of that. let you know what Victor Wooten sounds like when he's playing. And man, the guy's just a master. Okay, that's just a taste of Victor Wooten and what it means to listen to the way bass sounds. Now, the two songs that we're going to listen to today, you should really listen for that song or that sound, that bass guitar sound, because it's really, really prevalent in the style of music that we're going to listen to today. So this is an Italian guitar player that I follow on YouTube called Davey504. He's hilarious. And he's doing a little bit different style here. He's actually playing the acoustic bass guitar in a flamenco guitar style, but it is a bass guitar. It has 4 strings. Count the tuning pegs on the head, and you can tell that it's an acoustic bass because you're still going to see that tone hole that it's under the strings. Okay, so we'll watch just a little bit of this Davey504.
All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, ready, and.
All right. Really like that guy's playing, so musical. All right, Davey504. If you're looking just to listen to great bass players, it's great. But he has a hilarious YouTube channel called Davey504. And lots of jokes. He's Italian, so there's a language thing that goes on. It's pretty funny. But you guys are probably wondering why I'm wearing a suit. Well, you're about to find out because you're going to meet some blues brothers that are dressed just like me. And we're going to listen to 2 Aretha Franklin songs, each coming from a Blues Brothers movie. The first from the original Blues Brothers movie from 1980 that is called Think. All right, we're going to listen for the genre here. Pay attention to the genre. Use your chat functions to write what genre you think it is and what instruments that you think you are hearing, including the soloist that you're going to hear. And then we're going to go to the song of the day and do the same thing. So here we go, the late, great Aretha Franklin.
All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, ready, and.
You better think about what you're saying.
You better think about your actions. You better think about the consequences. All right, so let's see what we got here. Looking at our, we got nothing yet. Yes, he's dancing on the countertop. He's playing a saxophone. You are correct. Alto, yes, Azaria, you are right. It is an alto saxophone that he was playing. Let's see if the choir has anything about what the genre is. No, nothing. What do you guys think? What do you think the genre is here, gang? What was Aretha Franklin known for?
She was the queen of, not the queen of pop.
No, Michael Jackson was the self-proclaimed king of pop. She was not self-proclaimed. This was
There we
no,
go, Jarrell.
pretty close.
The queen of soul.
She was the queen of soul. So this is soul music. Okay, went right along with soul cooking. Great stuff. And if that doesn't get your blood pumping, I don't know what can. So, looking at the instruments, we got saxophones. Yes, that is true. Let's see if anybody else put anything in there other than saxophone. No. Did you guys hear how the bass was really, really up front? Okay, we got drums and electric guitar over here from Umberto. That's great. Electric guitar, drums. You heard the bass guitar really, really well. There was also an organ in there. So one of you over here put piano. It was actually organ. What other instruments do you think you heard behind, wind instruments do you think you heard besides the saxophone? What do you think? Flute? Nope. How about going for brass? It was 2 brass instruments. Trumpet. Yes, Emil. Trumpet for sure. Okay. Did you guys happen to hear, what is that called with a slide? What is that? Trombone was in there as well. Okay. What do we put down for Aretha herself?
A female lead singer.
Very good. Azaria, female lead singer. She had some backup, didn't she? Did she have backup choir? Yep. She had backup choir. I don't know if somebody's trying to say it. Maybe I ought to turn on the volume there.
Yeah, he's saying it.
Okay. Yep. She had 3 female background singers. All right. So that was the first one. And of course, you could see that I was playing the part of a Hasidic diamond merchant from the Blues Brothers, just like Dan Aykroyd. Now we're going to fast forward 20 years to the year 2000. And we are going to listen to Aretha, backed up by the Blues Brothers, sing for you her all-time greatest hits. And if you have not heard this, maybe you're not listening. Maybe you're not listening to the right music.
Well, maybe they've been living under a rock or something.
Yeah, maybe they've been living under a rock if they don't know this one. But you know, my Blues Brothers character here is going to make another
Appearance.
Thank you for putting that word in my mouth that I couldn't quite figure out. Okay, so Mr. Lips and Mr. Tongue were working, but Mr. Brain was not funneling the information to it. All right, so here we go. Aretha Franklin with the Blues Brothers singing Respect.
You ain't all I got, and I want you ain't no good.
Man, thank goodness. I just can't sit still when I'm watching that video. The great Aretha Franklin. And, you know, Dan Aykroyd playing the Blues Brothers. All right. So
Yeah, they didn't. I mean, they didn't write in the chat or anything. I mean,
interesting. Out of curiosity, did the genre change? What do you think? Did it change?
No, a little bit.
No, it is still soul. She was still singing as the Queen of Soul. All right, and that was a great outfit. You know, if you remember a few years ago during her funeral, I believe they changed her like 8 times through the course of the day because she was always big on the way she looked. All right, we're going to go through our instruments, starting with, yeah. Unfortunately, Aretha Franklin left us a couple years.
Yeah, passed a few years ago.
Yeah. So, all right, Azario says saxophone. That is true. Now, Azario, here's the question: was it still an alto saxophone, or was it one of the other one?
Yes, I think it's still alto sax.
Anybody want to refute Azaria's answer?
Did you guys hear what she said?
He said alto. Was the guy in the second video playing an alto saxophone solo, or was it a tenor or a Barry? Oh, man. Well, Mr.
What
Barry,
did you say, Santana?
he said he doesn't know, Mr. Barry.
Oh, okay.
You're going to have to let these guys know how you can tell visually the difference between saxophones.
So look at the neck of the saxophone. The neck of the saxophone is the part that's closest to the player's mouth. So if it's straight, if it's or if it has one curve in it, it's an alto sax. If it has a hump in it, it's a tenor sax.
That's right.
So was it straight or did it have a hump in it?
That was a hint, guys. It had a hump in it. So it was the middle saxophone called the tenor saxophone. Okay. And there was an alto saxophone in there. If you listened real closely, you heard it. It's kind of hard to hear the difference in the saxophones when everybody is playing together. But what about the saxophone? Did you hear it going real low? What is that one called? I said it just not a minute ago. It rhymes with Mr. Barry's name.
But I can't remember what it was. It started with a B.
Maybe it's Mr. Barry's name.
Dinner? I tried.
Hey, what's my name?
What's his name?
Barry?
Barry. It's a BerrySax.
BerrySax.
The only difference is instead of it spelled like Mr. Barry spells his name, Berry, it is actually spelled Bari, which is an abbreviation for baritone saxophone. So 3 of the 4 main saxophones are represented there. Did you guys hear, like we talked about earlier, did you hear trumpet? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, very good. Trumpet was most definitely in there. What about, did we have the slide trombone? Yes or no? Slide trombone? Yes? No?
Yes.
Yeah, it was in there as well. Okay, so that takes care of our wind instruments. Let's talk about our rhythm instruments, and we already have 2 answers over here. Drum set was definitely there. What about the instrument that we talked about earlier?
That goes with the drum set.
Goes with drum set. What's that called? 4 strings?
Bass?
Bass guitar, very good. Was the regular electric 6-string guitar in there? Yes or no? Yep, it is. Very good. That is most definitely the electric guitar. And the funny thing about it is the guy that Aretha is dancing around with, that guy is named Matt Guitar Murphy. He's actually the player of that guitar in the recording. And he was actually, you saw him 20 years earlier as the cook. He was also the guitarist for the Blues Brothers band then as well. Okay, so did you hear, was there a keyboard in there? And if so, what was it called? Was it a piano? Was it an organ? Was it a synthesizer? What do you think you heard?
Piano?
A synthesizer?
No, that leaves one more.
The organ.
The organ, it was most definitely an organ. That was called the Rhodes organ, which is a very popular soul, blues, rhythm and blues, jazz, and rock instrument of that time period. Very distinct sound. Okay, so now we just need to talk about the singers. How do we say Aretha? What is she? What is she called? Come on,
What
choir.
was she called in the last song?
Female lead singer, I believe, is Aria is.
Female background singer too.
Okay, good. There were female background singers. How many? How many background singers?
Like 4.
3 is
There
correct.
was 3. There was 3 background singers, which is usually how many they use, just like the Supremes. That became very popular to have 3 background singers when you have a lead singer. So there you have all the instruments and the genre. Now, all you have to do to get number 1 and number 2 correct on your assignment is to put those down. Then you have to do the very difficult thing that we've said 1,000 times on this show. You have to talk about your feelings. How did it make you feel? And why do you think it made you feel that way? But before we go, guys, let's do a little, everybody turn your cameras on. Everybody turn your cameras on. And let's do a little bit of dance break for Mr. Lenoir, just to wave at him and let him know that we're thinking of him. Why? Well, because his birthday was yesterday, I think, wasn't it? Or a couple days ago, Mr. Barry?
Yeah, it's Monday.
Yeah, so let's have a little dance break for him and wish our principal a happy birthday. Woo! Wait a minute, I need to turn on some music for this. Here we go. We got to have some respect. Yeah, here we go. Little dance break. Come on. I want to see some dancing on that one. All right. All right. I'll play the dork. I'm all right with that. All right, guys, you can go ahead and turn your cameras off and do your assignments. The expectation is that you have your assignments turned in before the end of class today. As I say, do not leave because we are going to do the sign off. That's not saying goodbye to you guys in the class. That's saying goodbye to our loyal listeners, all dozen of them in the Warrior Musician website and YouTube channel. So just want to say, this hat here is going to be used for my composer chapeau, which you're going to see in the next couple of days. So take it away, BerrySax.
All right, guys. So peace out.
We love you guys, and you have a great, nice, long weekend.